I'm here today to give you some history and a summary of the current clinical research that's going on at ICVBM. I'd like to start with explaining the difference between clinical research and basic research. Clinical research refers to research in humans. We use sometimes interchangeable terms. You may hear something referred to as a clinical trial or a clinical research study. Basic research, also called preclinical research, refers to research in the laboratory, such as cells in a petri dish or cells on a bench, or work with animal models. The CMMRF support has impacted scientific knowledge at the basic science level and has enabled us as a center to rise to the level of a world-class leader for cellular research in both basic and clinical research. My job is known as a clinical research coordinator. The role of the research coordinator is to put the clinical trial into motion. We are the communicators between many different areas, both within and outside of our particular institutions. We help identify appropriate subjects for our research studies. We explain the details of study participation. We schedule all the required activities, and we perform or assist with many activities during each study visit. It's our job to keep things running smoothly. Dr. Michael Murphy conducted the first study in humans using stem cells from bone marrow for patients with peripheral artery disease, also called PAD, who have critical limb ischemia, also called CLI. Peripheral artery disease occurs because of a buildup of a fatty plaque material in the arteries. This causes reduced blood flow to the lower limbs. Critical limb ischemia, or CLI, is the advanced stage of this disease, and people with CLI face amputation rates as high as 50%. There are 100,000 amputations every year just in the United States alone for this devastating disease. The study that we conducted was done only here at IU, and we had 30 subjects in that research study. Our favorable results of this pioneering study allowed us to advance to the next level of research. Our next study for critical limb ischemia enrolled 152 subjects nationwide at multiple locations. Enrollment in that study completed in May of 2015, and follow-up continues now. We don't have any results yet since we're still in the follow-up phase of that study. Another study for which we're currently enrolling patients uses stem cells from the patient's own adipose or fat tissue for treatment again of critical limb ischemia. The ICVBM has been selected as one of the top 7 cardiovascular programs in the United States to join the Cardiovascular Cell Therapy Research Network, also known as the CCTRN. This network is funded by the National Heart, Lung, and Blood Institute, which is part of the National Institutes of Health. The network, the CCTRN, is conducting stem cell therapy trials involving the heart and blood vessels in the lower limbs. Being selected to join the CCTRN is a distinct honor. An application was highly competitive for this program. We're tremendously excited that we were chosen to become a member. We were selected about 4 years ago to be one of those 7 centers, and this is a 7-year commitment. The first CCTRN clinical trial is underway. It's called the PACE study. This is a study for people who have peripheral artery disease who have intermittent claudication. This is a type of leg pain that is also caused by blockage of blood flow in the arteries of the legs. Claudication is a less severe level of disease than the critical limb ischemia studies I told you about a moment ago. In the PACE study, we use the patient's own bone marrow-derived stem cells. Our center enrolled 22 subjects in this trial, and we're very proud to be the top enroller in the nation in this study. Follow-up continues in this study, and no results are yet available. This slide shows the actual injection of the study material into the muscle of the lower leg of a patient in the PACE trial. The next two CCTRN trials to begin in 2016 will be in heart failure. One will be for patients who have congestive heart failure due to a heart attack. This study is called the CONCERT study. It will use the patient's own bone marrow-derived cells in combination with cells derived from the patient's heart. The study product will be delivered by an injection directly into the damaged heart muscle. The second study will use bone marrow-derived cells, but they will come from a donor, and they will be for patients whose congestive heart failure is due to chemotherapy that they've taken for cancer treatment. That study is called the Seneca trial. In total, there will be 3 to 5 research studies conducted during the 7 years of the CCTRN funding period. The focus will be on peripheral artery disease and heart failure. Again, we've been able to develop the ICVBM to the level of a world leader in the field of adult stem cell therapy, and our selection to the CCTRN occurred as a result of the program we've built over the years, in large part due to the funding provided by CMMRF. Our clinical trials at ICVBM thus far have focused on cardiovascular disease, as I've talked about, arterial problems in the legs, and heart failure. Planning for future clinical trials includes areas of diabetes, eye disease, and emphysema. Your generous support over the years has helped tremendously to advance scientific knowledge. Your generous donations continue to support the partnership of discovery between ICVBM and CMMRF. I know that the text on this slide is too small for you to read, but this is a 15-foot-long wall display at the ICVBM in the IU School of Medicine Medical Library. Every medical student who trains at IU spends countless hours in this building, and they see this display every time they enter and exit the building. It shows the timeline of CMMRF's affiliation with the IU School of Medicine and some of the major advancements made through our center and our partnership with CMMRF and other Masonic groups who have partnered in this effort, such as the Knights Templar Eye Foundation, Amaranth, and others. Our display wall gives tribute over time to the Masonic philanthropies. These philanthropies continue to be the largest benevolent philanthropies in the world. We are grateful for your support, which has helped to greatly advance scientific knowledge over the years, and we believe will ultimately improve the lives of many. Thank you.